Arizona Wranglers are coming off their biggest win of the season, a 20-3 demolition last Sunday in New Jersey. But the Wranglers have yet to win 2 games in a row. This 4-4 team must get going, and they hope to do so tonight in Houston. The Gamblers have won their last 2 games, including a 35-27 come-from-behind victory Monday night at Oakland. But the Gamblers have to win again tonight to keep the heat on in the Central Division. We'll see if they can do it next on ESPN.
This Easter weekend from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, the Arizona Wranglers play the Houston Gamblers. And a surprise as we take a look at the standings. First of all, let us take a look at the Pacific Division. Denver's 7-1. Are they doing it with mirrors? Not great high price talent, but Greg Morton's team is doing very well. Arizona's George Allen said, "We will never lose a game." Since that time, he's lost 4. An additional surprise as we take another division, the Central Division. Michigan and expansion Oklahoma, 6-2. And tonight's host right on top of them, just a game back at 5-3. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Simpson. And tonight also you've got these other situations. First of all, the teacher, George Allen of Arizona, and the pupil, Jack Pardee of Houston. You've got the #1 defense in the USFL. That's no surprise for George Allen. But surprise, surprise, the #1 offense is Jack Pardee's Houston Gamblers. And here's another situation of that #1 offense. Take out the #1 scorer of the USFL, Sam Harrell. Take out the #2 rusher of the USFL, also Sam Harrell. He has a broken bone in his foot. He cannot play. Todd Fowler will play in his place. My colleague is John Heinrich. And when you talk to a quarterback about quarterbacking, they love something, and I guess every quarterback in the world loves the run-and-shoot offense of Mousy Davis coordinator that Jim Kelly runs for Houston.
Well, it has to be a lot of fun, as you said. But the thing about it is the Arizona club likes to play a lot of man-for-man coverage. As a result, it's going to test that secondary very, very much because they have 4 wide receivers out there, and they're all extremely quick and have excellent speed. Now, the other side of that is Kelly has to get rid of that ball in a hurry. I expect tonight that Arizona is going to come after him. I think they got to blitz him. He takes short sets, he rolls some, but they've got to force him to throw quickly. They're not going to be able to cover that long back there.
He leads the league in touchdown passes, and we'll see Jim Kelly and that #1 offense against George Allen and that #1 defense when we come back for the kick. George Allen, the coach, he had Jack Pardee as a player with the Rams, later a player and a coach for the Redskins. Pardee replaced Allen as the head coach when Allen went out to the Rams. Jack Pardee on the far side, out of coaching last year, back in coaching, but he won the NFL Coach of the Year accolade with the Chicago Bears, later scored the Rams. And now Bill Parkinson has the teams out there. The Arizona Wranglers have their backs to with the white jersey.
Head is red, right? Head is red. Tail is tail. Tail is tail. Tail is tail. Who's going to call? Call before I talk. He calls tails. The man calls tails. It's the head. The head. You receive. Which way will you kick?
Well, that run-and-shoot offense is going to get their hands on the ball in a hurry.
Good luck, man.
And let's complete Bill Parkinson. Carl Paganelli is the umpire. The headlinesman is Jeff Bergman. Ted Colano is the line judge. Bill Begin is the back judge. The side judge is the veteran Grover Clemmer. And J.C. Lauterbach is the field judge. We're in the Astrodome, and Frank Corral will kick the ball off. And a reminder again that in the scheme of things in the USFL, it is the veteran Arizona team under George Allen that is fighting for its life. 3 games down to Denver, the Pacific Division, while Houston, the slight underdog tonight, by winning can remain a game behind Michigan and Oklahoma, and they don't play until tomorrow. And Oklahoma has a big game with Birmingham, and Michigan on Monday night, and ESPN will be there, has a big game with Tampa Bay that looked so good against New Orleans last Monday night. Only first to kick off. Arizona 4-4. They've beaten Oakland, Washington, Oklahoma. They've buried them, and New Jersey. And on the other side, the Houston Gamblers are the other team to beat New Jersey. San Antonio, Chicago, Washington, and Oakland. Here comes Frank Corral out to kick the ball off. The veteran of 4 years with the Rams out of UCLA. And this is the first time this year that Don and I, or anybody at ESPN, has been able to see Arizona's road uniforms or Houston's home uniforms. As you can see back there deep, Alvin Eason and number 89, Clarence Verdun. They are the deep men on the kickoff. Verdun is the man in the middle. And there is Corral. Ball game a little delayed in getting underway, but it is to get underway, and we can promise you fireworks this Saturday evening. Corral of Arizona to kick off to Verdun of the Gamblers. And it is Verdun who will take it at the goal line. Getting outside, cross the 20, and run out of bounds as he gets near the 30-yard line. Run out of bounds across the way by Lance Shields, the cornerback. Here comes Jim Kelly, one of 6 brothers, University of Miami. There hasn't been a game this year in which he has not thrown for at least 200 yards. And he has led his team to the #1 offensive showing in the USFL. Spots the ball at the 28-yard line. Remember, they only use one setback. Todd Fowler, 46. Scott McGee, 88. Richard Johnson, 22. Are 2 of your wide receivers. McNeil, 13. Moser, 85. The other 2. Johnson in motion. And is Kelly getting a ball across the middle and incomplete. Intended across the way for Ricky Sanders. Defensively, Carl Lort, 71. Joe Ehrman, 74. Kit Lathrop, 70. John Lee, 64. The front 4. Ed Smith, Jim Fonhorst, Stan White. Your linebackers, and everybody but Lee has started every game out of George Allen in the USFL. Frank Minifield, #1, your left corner. Carl Allen, just back last week, number 32, your right corner. Eddie Brown filling in as strong safety tonight for Bruce Laird, who is still out, number 25. And Luther Bradley, an all-USFL selection, is your free safety. Johnson in motion, 2nd down and 10. Kelly doing what comes naturally, throwing, gets the ball to Johnson, who gets the ball out to the 30-yard line, and that is all. Luther Bradley, number 27, puts him down. 3rd and 8.
Well, right now, the first 2 plays, the Arizona defense has kind of set the tone because they have gotten to Kelly. They have not really put the pressure on to sack him, but they have forced him to hurry his throws. He has not had much opportunity to let those receivers get open, as evidenced by that last short throw. And Luther Bradley, man for man, locked in, quickly made the play.
Ted Walton, number 29, comes in as a 5th defensive back. Look at that run-and-shoot offense. They got people everywhere. Here comes Johnson toward you. And there's Kelly rolling to the other side. Kelly across the middle has his man. That is Johnson. Steps around Eddie Brown. Has the first down across the 45. That is the 48 catch for the league's leading receiver, Richard Johnson.
Well, coming out this way, Johnson in motion as he comes across. The 5th back in there is Lance Shields, number 22. Gets beat in the lower corner as he gets turned around. Johnson with that quickness breaking across the field. And then a nice throw by Kelly to spot him. Some good running after the play, even though Johnson slips down.
There's the first running play. Fowler for Corral and picks up 7 yards and moves into Arizona territory. Jim Fonhorst, the second leading tackler on the team, the middle linebacker, number 55, put down Todd Fowler out of Stephen F. Austin, a number 19 draft choice, 332nd man picked overall in the USFL. And if you speak to Jack Pardee, as we did, he says this man is going to be a superstar. Todd Fowler.
Well, he came in here. He was a tight end in college. And it's a little adjustment for him, and now big shoes to fill by replacing Corral, but he's a good one.
On the 48 of Arizona, 2nd down, 4. That is Sanders in motion. Kelly being chased. Down he goes. Rolled over by Stan White, the 5th linebacker, number 52. There is Sam Harrell. We told you he's number 1 in scoring. We told you he's number 2 in rushing. And now you can see nearly 70% of their rushing offense and 76% of all their touchdowns rushing. Sam Harrell, and he is out 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, Stan White White, the weak side linebacker, who was an all-USFL choice a year ago, coming on the blitz, and they said they were going to get after Kelly tonight. They were going to bring the linebackers, a lot of dogging, worked the first time around.
Ball is on the 43 now, 3rd and 13. They're coming again after Kelly. Has some time, puts it down for Mosier inside the 25-yard line. First down at the 24. Frank Minifield, who's only 5'9", could not stay with Mosier, who leaped high in the air to make the catch.
Minifield getting hurt a little bit at the tail end of it. You can see the pressure coming. They got a stun on coming around. They're blitzing the linebackers. 52 is Stan White coming. Good adjustment by Kelly as he rolls away from that pressure. That's what he's going to have to do. He spots Mosier, lays it down the middle. Minifield lost him for a moment, but got hurt just a little bit when he hit the ground.
Well, the number one offense thus far is having all the better of it, Don. They're down to the 24-yard line where it is first down, and time has been called on the field because of the injury to Frank Minifield, who bounced off the receiver, Greg Mosier.
Actually, that AstroTurf down there is pretty soft compared to most of the fields looking at it.
11:38 to go. We're in the first quarter. There's no score. We'll take timeout.
Minifield, who was plagued last year where he had a knee operation. Mouse Davis on the sidelines, the
run-and-shoot man.
The architect of that attack. But Minifield's had those problems. He had a groin injury early this year. Now it looks like he's going to be out of there a little bit.
Lance Shields replaces him as the left corner. This is Sanders in motion. First down from the 24-yard line. And not much there. Todd Fowler goes straight ahead. Joe Ehrman makes the stop. At Portland State, Mouse had 14 men that he sent on to the National Football League. He later went down as offensive coordinator at California and left there after 5 games when California was 1-4. But as Mouse will tell you, it takes a little time. As Jim Kelly will tell you, it takes a little time to learn this run-and-shoot offense.
Well, it does. And to use that cliché that coaches mention so often, hit the open man. He's got a lot of them out there to try and find.
Ordan is wide left, Mosier right, Sanders in motion left, Kelly back. In a crowd, and it's not going to go very far at all. Kit Lathrop, the lineman of the year last year, makes the stop at the 22-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 to go.
A little bit of a roll to the left side by Kelly as he's trying to get away from that rush. He's coming, he gets cut off. He starts to step back up, but Kit Lathrop, with some help from Joe Ehrman, Lathrop, number 70, quickly corral him and drop him back there. Lathrop extremely quick off that football, has excellent strength, upper body strength to control the guard, was in the right place.
5 minutes gone in the first half, no score, and it is 3rd down and long, about 9 to go. Kelly fakes once, puts it up for the end zone, and it's going to be out of bounds. Thrown out of the end zone, intended down there for Verdun.
You know, one of the things they did
that was Scott McGee, I'm sorry.
One of the things they did there, Jim, that was rather interesting, because Kelly does a fair amount of rolling from side to side, as he's shown a couple times here early. Carl Lortz, the defensive left end on the right side, the side that Kelly was rolling to, was way upfield to cut him off and keep him back to the inside. With Stan White blitzing from the backside, Kelly had to throw it in a hurry.
Tony Frist, who has not missed yet this year, will try one of 39 yards. He is 3 for 3. Ball is placed down by Mosier. It is up, and he is still not there. 39-yard field goal by Fritz ends their first drive of the night. 9:44 to go. Houston has drawn first blood, leads by 3. The 39-yard field goal will kick off. Alan Clark is the deep man, but it's not going to get too deep. Well, Clark does pick it up, but at the 11-yard line. Got a lot of speed, Clark, and a flag goes down the first of the night as Clark goes down at the 32-yard line, and Arizona has the ball for the first time tonight. Kevin Long, 46 and 33. Wide receivers Lenny Willis, 89, and Tremaine Johnson, number 2. Your tight end, Paul Ricker, 86. Second man through is Spencer, and Spencer's got the first down out across the 30-yard line against that defense of Houston, which is 3rd in the league against the rush.
Well, you have to believe that Jack Pardee, by going to a 4-3, usually a 3-4 defense, Landry automatics up the middle. Good block right there by Tom Thayer, 61. Hard running by Tim Spencer before he's corralled.
That's something to do with the Wranglers. You corral them. Very good. First down from a 30-yard line. 3-0 to score. Spencer, the man in motion to the right. And Kevin Long, who had better than 120 yards last week, carries the ball and is knocked down. Defensively, they are using a 4-man front, as Don told you, instead of the normal 3-man front. Cleveland Crosby, 78. Tony Fitzpatrick, 62. Hosea Taylor, 93. And Brad Anai, 64. They hope to get Pete Catan in on passing downs. Andy Hawkins, 59. Kiki Diala, 31 in the middle. Eric Scoggins, 55, your linebackers. Mike Mitchell, 35, the left corner. Will Lewis, 24, the right corner. Calvin Eason, 34, the strong safety. And Hollis Hall, 25, who used to play for the Wranglers, is your free safety. Second down, 8 to go from the 32. Jermaine Johnson that was in motion. Landry back, fires across to Jermaine Johnson. He does not pick up the first down, but for the 28th consecutive game of his pro career, Jermaine Johnson has made a catch. Willis and Johnson come to the left. Spencer goes out to the right. Long count. Did they draw him offside, or did they commit it themselves? Incomplete pass thrown by Landry, but the flag had already gone down. First down, right in the backfield. Tim Spencer's going nowhere. Taylor's the first man to hit him and just absolutely stand him up. Taylor moved into a starting position tonight since they're going to a 4-man front.
They're going to pull a tackle coming across. You'll just see number 78 coming into the play. John Stadnick was pulling from right to left, but Hosea Taylor just quickly got across. They feel that he's been playing very well. That's why they elevated him to a starting spot.
Second down at about 12 from the 39-yard line. 6:50 to go, first quarter. Kevin Long is not going to go anywhere. And look down at the bottom, and you can see that is Cleveland Crosby who made the stop. Guilty at one time of jumping offside. Now he throws Kevin Long for a yard loss. And Long, remember, gained 123 yards and 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns in their defeat of New Jersey last Sunday, 20-3. It is third down now and 13 to go. Landry gets the ball out, and it's intercepted by number 35, Mike Mitchell. Went off the hands of one man into the hands of Mike Mitchell. A turnover at the 41-yard line. Houston has the football.
Landry getting pretty good pressure just with the 4-man rush. They get a little stunt. You see both tackles and ends coming around. That's Fitzpatrick, number 62, that was getting the pressure on. And jumping in front of it there to try and make the play, tipping the ball, is Tommy Myers, the old pro, and then very alertly intercepted by Calvin Eason in the old tip drill.
Excuse me, that was Mike Mitchell, his third interception, number 35.
It was Mike Mitchell, exactly. Correct.
And the ball was intended for Larry Douglas. In any event, the ball's at the 41-yard line, and Houston, leading by 3, has got it again. Run and shoot offense to get the ball out, and that is intercepted at the line of scrimmage by John Lee. What a play! Arizona's back on the field, and Kelly hangs his head and walks off the field. Thrown right to John Lee, never saw him in his path as he tried to get the ball to McNeil.
Big split by the offensive line. Kelly looking to the right, going out to the quick screen, but Lee generally jumps across, pops the ball up in the air, and Kelly alertly makes the play. Otherwise, it was just nothing but end zone ahead of John Lee. Big play for a lineman to make one of those types.
So many years he played with the Chargers, had 6 sacks in one game this year, but marks the ball at the 34. Wranglers down by 3, first down after the turnover. The fake, Landry still got the ball across the middle, and as Spencer inside the 15, Spencer down near the 10-yard line. And Spencer makes his 20th catch of the year. First down from the 12. That's Spencer is in front of him. Spencer gets inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. With Kiki Diala, the rookie out of Texas, holding on for dear life. Second down and 6. Spencer inside the 5 and near a first down at the 4. Got to get to the 3. Eric Scoggins hanging on. And Calvin Eason, the strong safety, came up to make a force.
Jack Pardee does emphasize the run defense despite the problems they've had in that secondary. And Roman Gabriel, who was Pardee's teammate at one stage with the Rams, and I had coached both of them in Los Angeles some years ago. But Roman said that we're going to try and run that football as much as we can. If we have some difficulty, then we're going to put it in the air.
3:10 to go. 2 tight ends in there. Todd Thomas, a tight end tonight, because they've lost Posen to injury, Achilles tendon. Looking for the first down. Oh, in the backfield. I want to tell you, Hosea Taylor again just met Spencer and knocked his helmet off.
Oh, he almost knocked him right out of his shoes. When they said Hosea Taylor was playing good, I'll tell you, there is an example of it. 93, you see him step inside, shoves the center, 51, Sullivan, and then greets Spencer and says, good evening and happy Easter.
Frank Corral apparently on the field to try to tie it up. Corral is 4 for 7. And this one will be 23 yards, and he is 2 for 2 in this range. Risher, the holder. Corral puts it up, and it is perfect. And with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go, that is for Dan, who is deep. Number 89, and Corral to kick off. Low driving, and it'll be picked up. Oh, if he can pick it up. That is Calvin Eason with the football. Still on his feet and across the 25-yard line. Easy, as they call him. Almost made it too easy. Boatner makes the stop. A fellow that reached the semifinals of the National Punt, Pass, and Kick contest when he was a young man. Sanders, the man in motion, now coming back the other way. Kelly. Not running room. Better get out of bounds. And gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Nobody to throw it to downfield. And that in itself is kind of incredible when you consider he's got 4 wide receivers at all times, and he had no one to throw to.
Well, you know, a lot of clubs have played him with 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive backs, and they've sat back and let him attack them and take them apart. Well, George Allen, as we mentioned at the top of the show, prefers to play man for man. However, you've got to have that pass rush. Kelly, on the other hand, very capable back there, running with that football when he sees the daylight, as he just did.
Kelly comes out again at second down and 6 from a 31. And by the way, Frank Minifield is back in at the left corner. He had a bruised knee. Remember, he went out for a while. He is back. Up, almost jumping offside. He did jump offside. Flag is down, and here comes Kelly running again, and he makes the mistake of cutting back. He could have made a lot more yardage to the outside and maybe even the first down, but I think it's going to be second and about 1. It looked like Ed Smith jumped offside. Maybe it was Bruce Geesley. In any event, somebody jumped offside. Second down, short yardage, Johnson in motion. And there's Fowler. He's got the first down, a lot more. Big bruiser out of Stephen F. Austin. Gets out to midfield. He is a big bruiser. Dragged down by Luther Bradley.
Well, the thing that makes a play like that so effective, you'll see him step to the right. It's a sprint draw. Kelly coming by and slips the ball to him, and then he breaks back behind it. Fowler, a long strider. He isn't a real quick type of guy, but extremely strong when he runs with that football, and he takes some people with him. And training camp, they said that he just let everybody take shots at him, and he liked to hit people himself, but it didn't seem to bother him. He just comes right back. He's welcoming this chance tonight to be a starter.
He is 6'4", 218, only 21 years old. First down, midfield. Kelly. Kelly loops it out here, looking for Mosier, and Minifield almost has it, and the flag goes down. Could be offensive interference. I didn't see Minifield do anything.
It almost looked like Moser gave a little shove to cut back inside of him on the play.
It it was against Arizona.
Well, that's a tough call on Frank Minifield. He was running right with him. You know what? Defensive backs will crowd that receiver when they're going deep like that. They don't exactly shove him, but they lean into him. And in that case, I think that's...
Number one on the defense.
Well, as we get the call, but I think he did more of that than
Let's see
pushing.
this.
We'll get a good look at it. See him lean into him right there. He kind of cuts off where he's going.
Well, I thought both men could go for the ball.
Well, they can go for the ball, but the defensive man cannot obstruct the path of the receiver. In other words, he can't step in front of him to cut him off in that fashion.
Oh, you're saying it's a good call.
It was a good call.
Okay, McNeil goes wide to the left at his first down at the 35. Remember, in the USFL, it is 15 yards and automatic first down. Not at the spot of the foul. There's a little dump pass to Fowler. Fowler across the 30. Fowler inside the 20. First down. Fowler having a great night, filling in for Sam Harrell, who's out with a broken bone in his foot. 15 seconds to go. We're winding down.
Fowler moving to the left. Most of the time is going to block. You see Kelly, Fowler 46. Kelly dropping out behind him. Fowler doesn't get the block, but Kelly knows that pressure is coming. Gets out in front of him, Carl Allen, number 51. He doesn't get a block, but one thing about Fowler, he knows what to do with it. Once he gets it, he smells the goal line.
Dan White brings him down as the first quarter ends. Jim Simpson with Don Heinrich at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Greg Landry thus far is 2 of 3. Intercepted once. Kelly is 4 of 7 and 67 yards. No touchdowns and also one interception when he threw it right into the arms of John Lee on the screen. But right now, Kelly and company have the ball at the 20-yard line of Arizona, first down. McNeil wide to the right. Johnson setting up over to the right. They've got 3 wide receivers on the right side, and now an Arizona man jump. And let's see whether or not he was anticipating the count. You can see it's Joe Ehrman who was in the backfield, or whether he was drawn off.
Donnie Martin, offensive right guard, set up a little quick. Obviously, it was going to be a pass by the move he made.
And you can see a man with the experience of Ehrman noticing that, quickly jumping off. And it's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, they know that once that lineman makes the move, they're going to get across there and draw that flag as quickly as they can. But a nice drive here by the Houston Gamblers, and certainly one of the things you don't want to do is hurt yourself with penalties when you get into what is considered scoring territory.
The number 1 offense in the league has the football, and they've moved it against the number 1 defense in the league, that of George Allen. They've got the ball first and 15 at the 25-yard line, and there is a delay for some reason on the field. As you can tell, an official is overtelling George Allen. That is referee Bill Parkinson saying something to him. And I don't know what George would be talking about unless you're going to go all the way to the other side now and also tell Jack Pardee, because Allen had nothing to complain about. The penalty was against the Houston Ball Club, but there goes Parkinson seeking out Jack Pardee on the other side. Pardee was back talking to his defense and comes out to hear what it is. And I've got no idea, but we'll get word to you when we do know. Usually at this time, the official clock is kept on the field or whatever. And in other words, right now we see that the time still shows 15 minutes on the clock, but they've run a play and there's been a penalty and not 1 second ticked off. So they may be saying the official time is kept on the field.
Headphones are down on both teams. The headphones are down on both teams.
Right again, Jim.
Well, one of the things that happens that if one set of headphones...
I know what you're going to say, but tell me how come no time went off the clock there?
Well, I'm surprised that they didn't run off a few seconds, but if one headset does not work on one side, then they have to cut off the other one until they can be repaired by an electrician.
And give your timekeeper, because obviously I made a mistake. When you jump off before the snap of the ball, no time goes off the clock. Fowler! And boy, there was a play right at the line of scrimmage that saved him, and that was by John Lee, a saving tackle, because Fowler had up a head of steam. He gets down to the 22-yard line, where it'll be second down and 12 to go.
You know, one of the things you kind of hate to see happen, too, when you've got the ball offensively and you're moving it, as the Gamblers have done in this drive, and then you get a delay, as they did because of the headphone sets on the bench, it kind of tends to take a little bit of the momentum away from you. You're cranked up and you feel good, you got momentum working, and then you get that lull.
There is another game going on tonight. Oklahoma and Birmingham will have scores of that for you as this game goes on. Our score is tied at 3-all, and there goes Kelly being chased. Drills the ball to Fowler. Fowler, look out, touchdown. No, touchdown. A saving tackle made at the 5-yard line.
Well, It's exactly the same play they ran over to the left side a few moments ago as Kelly comes out, moving to the right. Fowler, 46, in front of him, looking for a block. Nothing there, getting some pressure from Joe Ehrman. Just a little dump screen in front of it. Picks up a couple of blocks by the lineman, but Fowler, with his just third catch of the season, second here this evening, takes it in deep.
It looked like Carl Allen was the man who tripped him up, number 32. And there's Fowler, and he is sandwiched as he gets to the line of scrimmage. It is second down and goal to go. Our Lorch and company. Lorch, 8-year veteran out of Southern California. Jack Pardee on the far side with members of his staff. They are locked in a 3-all battle early in the second quarter. They are the slight underdogs to George Allen's team. And his number one defense is being shredded a little bit tonight by Kelly and Fowler.
Yes, they are. They don't even have a tight end on the roster. And they've got that 3 and 4 wide receiver set again, in deep in the territory of Arizona.
Oh, Kelly takes the pitch out and scores himself. Good drive by Kelly and company, the Houston Gamblers.
Well, there's one you don't see too often. One of the clubs, Memphis, will utilize it. The option play by the quarterback, Jim Kelly taking it down the line. There's nobody to put any force on him. He fakes the pitch out to Fowler and then just cuts back up inside Frank Minifield, number 1, into the end zone. 6 points for Jim Kelly.
Tony Fritz was 26 for 26. On to try the extra point. Moser to hold to make this score 10-3. Greg Lander and company have hardly been on the field tonight. Fritz's kick is perfect. 13 minutes, 1 second to go. The Astrodome in Houston on an Easter weekend. And Kelly has just put the Gamblers out in front 10-3 on a 2-yard option run, taking the pitch to Fowler and taking it in.
Well, they caught Arizona totally flat-footed and unprepared. 52 coming from the backside with Stan White trying to get pressure, but they were completely caught by Kelly running that option play, and I would say they have not showed it this year. It worked effectively.
Back to the Astrodome in a moment. The Gamblers on top again, this time by 7. The kick, Tobert is the deep net. Excuse me. What? Steps out of bounds. That is Larry Douglas. It's stepped out of bounds. All just over the 11-yard line. Arizona's got the football. They're down by the score of 10-3. Early in the second quarter. Landry throwing from near his own end zone, gets it out to Spencer. Spencer's got some yardage across the 15-yard line. Flag is down as Spencer goes down, dragged down by Tony Fitzpatrick. First and 15. Long, not going anywhere. Stood up by Fitzpatrick, number 62. You see Crosby, you see Myers, but you'll see Fitzpatrick down at the bottom. There he is, getting up. And it is going to be second down again. And 15. No gain on the play. Willis and Tremaine Johnson come wide to the right. Landry from his own end zone gets the ball out here and overthrows Kevin Long. Third and 15. Landry in his own end zone. Landry. Johnson barely gets out of the end zone, and that is all they'll have to kick it away. Landry walks off, and the Gamblers will get the ball again. Corral is almost out of his own end zone.
Got to be careful you don't step off the back line.
The rush is not on. Line drive driving Sanders back into his own territory. Has the ball at the 42. Sanders turns it upfield and then runs into a vicious tackle across the way. McGee goes wide to the right. McNeil comes to the left. Sanders in motion.
Come on, D.
And Kelly back. Kelly downfield all by himself. Look out. Johnson goes. Touchdown. Backing in. It's over. 53 yards, and nobody had Johnson at all. on first down.
Well, if you don't think that offense creates problems, the coverage was completely blown as Kelly went back. They have the blitz coming. You see 55. Jim Bonhorst was blitzing from the middle linebacker spot. Kelly spots Richard Johnson down the middle. He's all alone. He turns around to wave it off, catches his 6th touchdown pass of the year, his 48th reception, and the Gamblers have jumped out with a significant lead early.
Tony Fritz to come on to try to make it 17-3, and the Wranglers have great records in the fourth quarter, but they better start moving that football, because right now they're down by 2 touchdowns and haven't come close to scoring a touchdown on their own. 17-3, the upstart Gamblers. And there is Tolbert, the deep man, just activated for tonight's game. And Fritz to kick off. Mark Tolbert. Last time, remember, the kick went to the right and Douglas stepped out of bounds and put him in a hole. This time, Tolbert's going to have a chance to return from the 6-yard line. A little man with a lot of speed and gets across the 25-yard line. Well, it's 1st and 10. Back inside their own 10-yard line, sending Spencer wide to the left. Willis goes out there with him. Jermaine Johnson comes to the right. First down from the 27. Forced the pass on nearly every down. Here's Jermaine Johnson, his 3rd catch of the night. Johnson loses some ground trying to pick up some yardage, but has the first down across the 40-yard line to the 43.
Well, Landry wanted to come out running that football, but they have had little success. Jermaine Johnson coming downfield. He'll put on outside fake, then an inside move. 59, Andy Hawkins, a linebacker, coming into it as Johnson retreats, trying to get around him, but then quickly closed on as he slipped to the ground.
A reminder that Houston is last in the league in pass offense, or pass defense, rather. Therefore, Landry could expect to have a good night tonight. First down, he's going to throw again. Looking, throws it out there, and off the hands of Paul Ricker, the tight end. Second time Ricker's gone up for the ball, only to have it bounce off his hands. Diallo was the man covering him coming out of the backfield. Second down and 10.
That's something that Paul Ricker doesn't do normally, is drop footballs, and Landry had a lot of velocity on that one. Still should have been caught by Ricker.
Willis setting up on the other side along with Spencer. First and 5, Kevin Long with the football, and Long is near a first down. Getting inside the 35, down to about the 33. And you can see Cleveland Crosby and Hosea Taylor hanging on. And the Wranglers are doing just what you're supposed to do. Down as they are, 17-3, they get the ball at the 27. They simply move the ball down the field, aided by penalties, but nevertheless, here they are. Second and short. Spencer has got the first down. Spencer inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. Well, it'll be first down for the Arizona Wranglers.
In front of it, that's Long getting the block first, 33. Now as Spencer starts to come around the corner, he turns up inside the crack, gets hit first by Andy Hawkins, and then gets a little bit of help.
17-3, Houston. 8:20 to go, first half, but the Wranglers are on the move. Spencer, just a yard or so, hit in the backfield by the linebacker Hawkins on that side, and then stumbled forward for another yard. It's second down and 9. Instead, they run the ball, and Long takes it straight ahead down to the 20-yard line, perhaps to the 19. It'll be third and short. Faulkner comes back out, and Tremaine Johnson goes in on third down and 3. So the 3 backs they had, and Willis has gone back in. So now instead of the 2 tight ends and the 3 backs, they've got Johnson and Willis, and they slot Spencer to the right. 6:47 to go. And Bill Parkinson will get that clock wound, and they'll bustle out of the huddle again. 17-3, big first down situation here in their attempt to get it on third down and 3 for the Wranglers. Johnson left, Willis to the right. and setting up in the arc. First man through is Kevin Long, and he did not get it. Kevin Long did not get it. Tommy Myers on top, but a lot of help from the folks down underneath, including Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, down at the very bottom. And you can also see that Pete Catan was down at the bottom, too. Now it is going to be fourth down, and they're going to try for it again. 5 times, Don Heinrich, George Allen has gone for first down on fourth down this year, including twice last Sunday against the New Jersey Generals, and 5 times he has made it.
And I think that Greg Landry automatic the last time because they had everybody up there and they were going to come in the blitz, so he tried to run for it.
Fourth and a long, long yard. There's Spencer, but I think he was moving. I think Spencer was moving, took a little half step, and that's why the flag is down.
Well, he has to set 1 second. He did anticipate a little bit early. He did make a movement. He was not set for a second. I would say that you're absolutely correct.
If that's the case, it's going to be fourth down, and they'll see whether or not he made it. They would measure, and if he did not, they will not take the penalty. If he did, that's what it is. So they'll see whether or not they're going to take it or not. They won't give him another shot on fourth down, even though it's nearly 6 yards. They'll measure, and he did not make it, so they'll refuse the penalty, and Houston has stopped Greg Landry and company again. And this is the first time this year that they've not made it on fourth down when they've tried to go, but that was a long yard. First and 10 at the 18.
Good defensive play. They were in a 6-1 defense, short yardage, goal line type of a defense. They just all pinched in, and Kevin Long, who has been so effective in short yardage in his career, they went at Hosea Taylor on that left side. They didn't get it.
And this fellow here, Don, as you well know, Jim Kelly, was traded by George Allen to Houston for draft choices. And look what Kelly's doing to them tonight.
He's cutting them up.
Sanders, the man in motion. Kelly dumps it out of there to Fowler, and Fowler has the first down. He got by one man. Eddie Brown probably put him down, but a couple of folks just forgot that the name of the game is to tackle the man. He just simply ran right by him, and they watched him go by.
Well, he runs extremely hard. You can see the big splits in there. Fowler leading 46. He's going to get a little bit of a block there. He kind of shoves, trying to get some protection for Kelly, but they've run that play. This is the third time. The little dump screen underneath it. And with good hard running, Fowler just runs through tackles. They aren't going to arm tackle this young man. They better lay the leather to him, stick the shoulder in.
Jim Kelly may force the league statisticians to revise who's number one on defense if this keeps up. They're having a field day. Flag goes down in the line of scrimmage as Fowler carries across the 40. Bruce Kiesling made the stop. But this could be holding because the flag went down right as he hit the line of scrimmage. And they're walking back, and it is going to be holding. So it'll be first and 20.
Well, they've been complimenting those sprint outs of Jim Kelly from left to the right with that sprint draw move. And for, again, the third time this evening, Fowler running that sprint draw as he steps to one side or the other as Kelly passed and slips it to him. Picked up some nice yards. They've had a good little drive started here.
Number 60 on the offense.
But unfortunately, Scott Boucher, the offensive left guard, gets called for holding.
First and 20 in the 17-3 ball game. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. We're in the first half.
Well, it's an exciting offense to watch. I mean, they move that ball around, but you need a guy like Kelly that has a quick release, reads things in a hurry, gets rid of that football, and he's been effective in this ball game.
Hernan is the man wide to the left. Johnson, who's caught that 53-yard touchdown pass, goes to the right. And here's Kelly, and Kelly puts it out here for Sanders. It's a foot race, and Sanders is going to win it. Touchdown! 67, make it 77 yards. And it's 23-3.
Well, we mentioned earlier he was the fastest man on the squad. He was a running back in college. And once again, they got the kind of a man-for-man mismatch. Good protection for Kelly as he drops back. And that's the key. The time to be able to spot the receiver, throw the ball. You see he has a step on Luther Bradley. And talking to Bradley before the game, he said, we're not concerned. We can handle him. But twice he's been victimized as Sanders gets his longest touchdown pass of the season. He's had 2 going in. His longest was 61. That one, 77.
Tony Fritz in to add the extra point to put him up 24-3. He has done it, and this is the ball game, or the club, I should say, Arizona, which just held him to but 3 points New Jersey last week, and here comes Kelly adding the 24th point for the Houston Gamblers.
Yes, and they held that New Jersey club to just 222 yards, but a perfect throw by Kelly. And you can see him accelerate right there. That's a big key for a receiver when he catches that football, or a running back, which he was, to be able to run with that football after he catches it, and he did it very well.
Well, if Arizona should lose tonight, they would be 4 games behind Denver in the Pacific Division. 24-3 the score. Houston is putting it to the number 1 defensive team. Tony Fritz to kick off. And Tobin is deep. Remember that the games that Arizona has lost to Tampa Bay by 3, to Michigan by 5. Denver beat them 17-7. They lost to Philadelphia by 1. They're down by 21 points with 5:09 to go in the half. Well, can he pick it up? Finally, Selwyn Drain picks it up and gets across the 25-yard line, and that is all. Houston with 24 points on the board. They got the ball on their own 28. 9 plays later, Fritz kicked a 37-yard field goal. Then they were intercepted on a tipped ball. And then, well, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Kelly took one on an option, threw 53 yards to Johnson for another, 77 to Sanders for another. It's the Jim Kelly show tonight. And George Allen's club has got to make it the Landry show if they're to stay in the race in their Pacific Division. They've had the ball very infrequently and haven't been able to move anywhere near a touchdown. And that ball is incomplete. The flag goes down on the backfield, and since Landry is not down, it would appear it's holding. Lanny Willis was the intended receiver. Holding is going to be, because Landry was standing there all by himself.
He really was. That's one reason why he had such good protection, is because obviously somebody got a hook out there. He got called. It came from that left side, probably either Tom Thayer or Rob Taylor, I would suspect, the offensive left tackle. But Landry, with a lot of time, is getting backed up.
Holding. Number 75 on the white. First down.
That's Rob Taylor, the offensive tackle.
Statistics mean nothing when you got 5 minutes to go in the half. But remember, this is the number 1 pass defense, Arizona, and they've been bombed for 130 yards on 2 plays for 2 touchdowns. That's just 2 plays. Coming out of the backfield, the ball is tipped. Ball is tipped.
I think it's going to be a roughing the passer.
And could be roughing the passer, and Catan is the man that's saying, how can that be? What it was.
I think possibly Cleveland Crosby might be the guilty one, but we'll get that officially. We don't want to accuse him unjustly, and that would take Arizona out of deep in their own territory.
That's going to move the ball up to the 30-yard line. They'll move the sticks at the first down.
Number 77 on the defense.
It was Catan.
A blow to the face. First down.
It was on Pete Catan.
Well, Pete Catan, who was voted the most valuable player in Canada, the most valuable defensive lineman. You see him coming in just at the tail end, giving Landry a shove as he releases the football.
About 4.5 minutes to go in the half, which is at all Houston so far. Fans want more. There goes Spencer the other way. Spencer's got running room. Spencer's got the first down. Good play by Spencer, with Will Lewis hanging on as Spencer gets out near midfield. And that's the biggest play of the night for the Arizona Wranglers. There you are, 222 yards for Houston passing. So we said that every single game they played, they've had more than 200 yards. They've got that already tonight.
Keep going like this, they'll have over a 500-yard game.
Against the number 1 team in the league against the pass.
Unbelievable. Great fun to watch this kind of a ball game.
George Allen doesn't think so.
No, he doesn't.
Here's Landry. Landry in the middle. Lenny Willis goes down. First down at the 39-yard line. Mitchell put a hit on him, number 35. But it's first down at the 39.
Good protection for Landry. They just went to the conventional hook pattern or turn-in type of a move. Landry, big overarm, good follow-through, fires the ball into Willis. But coming back, Andy Hawkins, the linebacker, with Mike Mitchell, the corner, that really gives Willis a shot. We get another look at it as Fitzgerald trying to come in. He gets cut right at the tail end by David Huffman.
Long pass intended for Johnson. No good. No flag, but as the ball was snapped, an official threw a flag so high it almost hit the speaker at the top of the dome. That is an exaggeration, but I've seldom seen a flag thrown higher than that one.
Well, he despite Kelly's performance here this evening, maybe that official will get the record for the long throw tonight.
Legal procedure or formation will be charged against the Arizona Wranglers, and they're checking to see whether they want it to be second and 10, or first and 15. Andy Hawkins talking to the official.
This is kind of an interesting call right here. From a coaching standpoint, you can rest assured they'll check with Jack Pardee as to what he wants to do.
Formation on the offense. Not enough in the line of scrimmage. The penalties decline. First down.
That's the best way. You don't want to give another
play.
play.
If the penalties decline, it is second down. Excuse me, Bill Parkinson. When they decline the penalty, you lose the down.
Landry just put it up for grabs, really. He's trying to lay it over the top. He was just a little bit short with it.
Second down and 10. Wranglers need a big play. Landry tries for one to Ricker, the tight end. Hawkins drags him down with some help from Will Lewis. And that's the first down to the 25-yard line. Oklahoma is taking it to Birmingham. The Stallions have won 7 in a row, and Doug Williams has thrown yet another touchdown pass. And it's 10-0, second quarter.
Well, Woody's got that Oklahoma team going up there, hasn't he, Jim?
Oh, my.
Whew. Man, they've been doing a number this year. Very surprising, but really an excellent coach, and he's got them flying around.
Our score's 24-3. Houston, Arizona trying to get his first touchdown. Here's Spencer being forced to the outside. Cuts it up, and there he goes. Spencer, touchdown! Absolutely caught in the backfield and rambled 25 yards for the score. And Arizona's got his first touchdown.
Well, Arizona's run that sweep several times. This time coming to the right side. David Huffman, number 68, pulling out in front of it as Spencer coming around the corner. Gets cut off on the outside. Calvin Eason, the strong safety. Mike Mitchell turning it in. 34 there is Eason. But he gets the crack that he needs, and he accelerates. It's not a clean type of a sweep, but coming across late, free safety Hollis Hall, all for naught. Good run by Spencer.
And that's his longest run of the year. His previous long run was 17 yards. And now Frank Corral is going to make things respectable for the Wranglers with much better than a half to play as Corral hits. And all of a sudden it is 24-10, and that has quieted the crowd just a little bit. The run of Tim Spencer for his 7th touchdown running this year.
Well, as they come that way, just kind of going out of your picture 33, Kevin Long on the right side, trying to get a block there, which he does upfield enough to help bring Spencer. And Spencer, who the last 4 games has not played particularly effective, here he shows what he can do.
Well, remember, against Denver, in 5 carries, he had 6 yards. He got 25 on that one. Along the ground to be picked up by one of the up men. It looks like it's Andy Hawkins up there carrying the football. For 2 plays, they could be 7-1. They got buried on one occasion, but the rest of the time they've been very competitive. First down and 10, ball at the 34, Sanders in motion, and Kelly back to throw. Kelly flagged down, maybe holding. Kelly steps around. Kelly's going to get out of bounds with the first down, but the flag went down back at the 32. So move them back. Cowboys 4 receivers. There's Fowler. Fowler gets some of the yardage back out near the 30-yard line. Well, it'll be second down and 14 to go. Bradley and Carl Lorch makes the stop. Linebacker out. That is Smith, and putting in Ted Walton on second down and long, so they got 6 defensive backs. And Kelly's going to throw against the 6. And as a man open, Johnson, first down. 6 defensive backs, and Johnson was all by himself. Bradley made the stop. First down at the 42.
Well, once again, they got that one-on-one coverage. You see the twist in there, the 2 tackles coming around. That's Joe Ehrman and Kit Lathrop, 74 and 70 together. But right there, Johnson had just made a great move to really put the number on Ted Walt, the strong safety, and just picked up a big gain to put them in field goal position, or at least threatening with a little over a minute to go.
2 touchdowns. Those touchdowns were 53 and 77 yards. He was intercepted once, and that was when he turned to throw a screen to the left and turned right into the hands of General John Lee, a defensive end who was just standing right there. First down, 1:01 to go, 24 to 10. Houston, we're in the first half. Ball at the 42. Kelly, gonna run, and gonna run out of bounds. Gets out of bounds inside the 40 to 38-yard line. Boobin chasing him. That'll make it second down and about 6 to go. Arizona would be 4 games behind Denver in their division, and that is tough to overcome. Here's Kelly. Drills the ball past Sanders at the 26-yard line. A flag is down in the backfield again. They move him back even more.
With the effectiveness Kelly's had and the way he's been taking that secondary apart with his passing here this evening, I don't know that I'd like to have him back there gunning again.
Second down.
That was Scott Boucher again, number 60.
Boucher there holding Kit Lathrop, who excellent defensive lineman. He was an all-pro in the USFL a year ago. Great quickness, but Boucher grabbed the jersey a little bit and almost undressed him.
50 seconds to go. Wilbur Young is in now in the defensive line. This is Sanders, and jumping offside is Mark Kubin, and again, was he called offside or not? Quarterbacks love to throw. Look out, Kelly's in trouble, gets the ball to Fowler, and he is down. That's going to run some clock time off the clock.
It is impressive offensive attack.
John Lee is back in at defensive end for the Wranglers. That's Sanders in motion. Kelly. Lee is after Kelly, and Lee got Kelly for a sack. And that will be his 11th sack, and he will take over the lead for the Wranglers. And that will take the Wranglers, or I should say the Gamblers, out of scoring position with just 35 seconds left.
Well, we said that Lee would be back. Number 72, the left tackle, Brian Dawson, working on him. But really the coverage is what's so effective as Lee comes around to make the play. Actually, Kelly had nobody downfield to throw the football to because the secondary, for at least one occasion this evening, covered all the receivers, giving Lee an opportunity to get the sack, his 11th of the year.
Such is the nature of this wild, wild first half with long plays and tipped balls and interceptions, that this will be the first punt of the ball game as Dale Walters comes on. Back standing on his own 20, and Dale Walters in to kick the ball away. They have the rush on, and he gets a beauty. A beauty. Brown's not even going to touch that. That's wise. And look what Walters is going to do again. Put it out inside the 20, only this time inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. And now Landry is going to run the clock out if he can. Puts his knee on the ground. The clock is still running, so this first half is over. Birmingham, Stout has found his favorite receiver, both former Steelers, Jim Smith. It's 10-7 in the second quarter there at Legion Field. Here at the Astrodome, time is running out on George Allen, who goes to the locker room at the end of the half, down by 14 points. Here's Tony Fritz. He has been around for some little while and has some businesses here in the area. 13 years, speaks 4 languages, born in Austria, with the Cowboys, with the Chargers, with the Saints. And now with the Houston Gamblers. 24-10. Houston to kick off. They lead in the ball game. 1/2 of football left. Another kick along the ground. That is Tobin that puts it up at the 14-yard line. Trying to come outside. Tobin goes down at about the 29-yard line. Well, it'll be 1st and 10. So Greg Landry, number 11. Tim Spencer, 46. Kevin Long, 33. Come into the backfield. Lenny Willis, 89. Tremaine Johnson caught 3 passes in the first half. Number 2, the wide receiver. Here's Long. Long picks up 8 or 9 yards. As there's a missed tackle at the 35-yard line by Calvin Eason. The free safety, Ottis Hall, 25, splitting the time with Tommy Myers, 37. 2nd and short, and the ball is knocked down. Knocked down by Diallo. The linebacker coming across the middle, intended for Ricker. And now it's 3rd down and inches to go. They get that momentum reestablished. There's Spencer for the 1st down. Spencer still on his feet, just slipped the tackle at Andy Hawkins, number 59, and picked up a couple of more yards before Easton put him down. With the ball at the 47.
As far as Arizona's concerned, they like to go off that left side, but that time they give to Spencer off the right side. He gets good blocking by David Huffman, the right guard, and John Stadnick, the right tackle, to break through the hole.
And now we see that Gamblers have gone back to a 3-man front for the time being, with 3 linebackers and 5 defensive backs. And there is Long, and Long picks up 5 yards. And now, Don Heinrich, the Wranglers are showing that they're coming out, going with a game plan. The only big pass came on 2nd down and inches. They went for the whole bundle, didn't get it. Came back, picked up the 1st down, and now it's 2nd down and about 5 to go. Landry, he's got time, and the ball is knocked out of his hands by Cleveland Crosby. Landry, I don't think really saw him. Crosby just absolutely knocked him and the ball loose.
Well, that's one of those situations that I think that even a veteran like Greg Landry, they're going to set up the screen over there to Long, 33. You'll see him make the block first, and now he's slipping out to the left side of your screen. But Landry was so intent, a little bit slow by Long getting out of there, that he almost didn't see a 6'5" Cleveland Crosby coming in there to pop him.
3rd down and 5 to go from the 49 of Houston. 24-10 Houston. Landry, they've got the 4-man rush in there again, and what a catch on the sidelines by Doug Dennison. Dennison picks up the 1st down. Ball at the 42. Spencer, the man in motion. Landry gets the ball. Coming is Ricker, the tight end, and Ricker's inside the 35-yard line with Diallo holding on, along with Andy Hawkins and Calvin Eason. But it's going to be 2nd down and only a few yards to go. Impressive drive by the Wranglers with the 2nd half kickoff. This time it is Long who is flanked, and Spencer the lone back in the backfield. And Spencer to carry the football for the 1st down. Spencer inside the 30-yard line, down to about the 27-yard line. Before he is stopped there by Hosea Taylor and number 31, Kiki Diallo, the middle linebacker. And move those sticks again. Another 1st down for the Wranglers.
Well, they just go with the one-back look, but they're going for hook blocks all the way around, essentially. They bring Rob Taylor, number 75, the left tackle, that was getting out in front of it, but Spencer, with some sticky room, running-wise, finally does get some nice yardage.
Johnson and Willis to the right, Spencer this time to the left. 1st down for 27, Landry back. Landry, better get rid of it, and throws it across the way. There's Willis over near there, but that was almost dumping that ball on the ground. On 2nd down 10. Now they'll throw it out there. That's Dennison again, and he's going to pick up another 1st down and more. Dennison all the way down to about the 12-yard line, does it for the 2nd time on this drive. Diallo put him down.
Well, they had a quick screen out there. First time they've shown that here this evening. As Bodner will swing out, you'll see that they'll take a quick shot and then a quick release by David Huffman, the right guard. 51 to center. Jerry Sullivan getting a block over there, almost a fall down type of a move on Tommy Myers. But Dennison with the good hand at 32 years of age doesn't look it, doesn't need much room, and picks up some big yardage.
Johnson coming to the near side. Spencer Long back in as a setback. Willis in motion. First down. Landry fires the ball for the end zone. Touchdown, Tremaine Johnson. And the Wranglers come storming back with a 70-yard drive to open the second half.
Play action fake. You see the two backs crossing, rolling to the left. That's a hard throw going to that left side. He's off balance. He can't really step through, but Tremaine Johnson going through a little crack takes a slight touch there late. But Roman Gabriel said they were going to use a lot of play action against this club here this evening, but they've been behind, and of course you can see that he gets sandwiched by Hollis Hall and Calvin Easton, 34 and 25, strong at free safety.
And now Frank Corral to make it 24-17 if he can. He puts the ball up. It is good, and the Wranglers have moved the ball 70 yards.
We'll have to see a strong safety. Ted Walton will be back. He was injured just before the half.
Redan, number 89 with the ball, and a lot of speed, and gets the ball out over the 30-yard line, near the 35. So Houston will have a good spot from which to start. Tackle made there by Doak Field, a reserve linebacker. The offensive line for the Gamblers with the nose of the ball, and now we see McGee is in there, not Moser, on the right side, number 88. That's Johnson, who caught a touchdown pass of 53 yards in motion. And there's Fowler hit in the backfield by Lathrop, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage and doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Lathrop was across the line of scrimmage and hit Fowler by the time the ball was handed to him.
Well, we talked about his quickness, and he really has it as you see him pulled across there, number 70. He almost has... well, he does have. Yes, he did. It was dealer's choice against the Gamblers, and he got a little bit of Kelly. He got the ball carrier at the same time.
Lorch, Ehrman, Lathrop, and Lee, the front four. Smith, Farnhorst, and White. The linebackers, Minifield and Allen, the corners, Brown and Bradley, the safeties, and now we see that Bubin is filling in for Lee on the right side. Second and about 11, and here's a throw out here, caught by Ricky Sanders, shy of the first down. It'll be third down and short. It was put down by Ted Walton, who, remember, limped off the field, as Don said back in the first half, with that knee problem, but he's back. Third down, about 2 yards. I don't know if they've got 11 men on the field or not. We'll have to take a quick meeting, Arizona. There's Fowler running with the football. Whatever they had, Farnhorst makes the play and does not get the first down. They were waving men on and off the field, and my initial quick count was just 10 men on the field for the Wranglers. That may not be right, but they did the job on Fowler.
Jim, I made a quick count. They ran that sprint draw. I made a quick count. They only had 10 defensive men there.
That's what I thought.
You were absolutely correct. 55, Keith is Jim Farnhorst. His brother Keith plays for the 49ers. Had his best game a week ago against New Jersey. Hasn't had many calls tonight. Good play there.
Round the deep man, Walters with his second punt of the night. Not knocked down. Brown, fair catch inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. But now, trailing by 7, Arizona's got the ball at their own 18-yard line, first down. Willis, the man in motion. And Spencer, the man with the football. Spencer does get outside and gets across the 20-yard line to about the 22. Todd Fowler starting tonight over injured Sam Harrell. Second and 7. Almost made a mistake there. No flag. Landry gets it out here and overthrows Mac Boatner coming out of the backfield. Coverage by Tommy Myers. It's third and 7.
And getting pressure on him with the blitz. Andy Hawkins, number 59, the outside linebacker on the right. From the left side, Pete Catan, number 77. And really, there you see Catan, and there you see Hawkins coming into the play and really forcing Landry to throw that ball quickly and away from the receiver.
What do you think? Number 21, Doug Dennison. It is third and long. He's picked up 2 first downs. His number is 21. Let's see if they go to Dennison. He's in there.
I'd say there's a good chance of it.
Third and 7. Landry looking, and off the hand of Tremaine Johnson. Johnson, not Doug Dennison. And they'll have to kick the ball back to the Houston Gamblers. The number 13, who is Gerald McNeil. Low snap, but the rush is not on. High, rather short punt. McNeil's going to call for the fair catch, but the ball hits and goes off Larry Douglas. Flag goes down. It'll be down right there. Larry Douglas, a man on the coverage, downfield, and it hit him in the back of the leg. And they'll mark the ball at the 46-yard line. Neal left, Moser right, Sanders in motion. And Kelly back to throw again. There's McNeil, takes a hit by Carl Allen at the 27-yard line, but that's a first down for the Gamblers, and they continue to go to work against the number 1 pass defense in the league, Arizona.
Well, I'll tell you, he is as quick as a gnat. Good flight roll to the left there. You see 46 in front of him, Fowler, throwing on the move. Coming inside with a little turn is McNeil, and then, pow, he takes a hit for a 138-pound guy. He also returns punt. Amazing. Good move by Kelly. You see him get his shoulder squared around as he throws to the left side. Johnson, the man in motion. McGee is in also as a wide receiver. Kelly with all the time in the world, and it's almost picked off back there. Intended for Sanders going in the end zone, and Carl Allen almost had an interception. Oh, it was Jim Kelly lucky on that particular one, because he never saw Carl Allen, who had just dropped back into zone coverage. Sanders coming across the field right in his hands. Allen, having had a great game a week ago, had a shoulder separation early in training camp, just now come back, but I'll tell you what, that was a costly miss on his part to keep Houston's hopes alive for some points here.
5:46 to go, third quarter, 24-17 Gamblers. At one time, they led 24-3. Second and 10. Kelly in a mass of folks and gets the ball up in the air. Nobody's going to be able to catch it. No flag down. It'll be third down and 10. Kelly was really surrounded by folks in white shirts.
Was he ever? He has. Here's what it feels like to be a quarterback when you're getting pressure. Watch those people coming in. 71, Carl Lortz, the first guy, chases him back up inside. 74, Joe Ehrman chased him. 70, Kit Lathrop coming. 56, Ed Smith. And boom, down.
Third and 10 from the 27-yard line. Wide receivers going everywhere. They got a bundle of them, remember. Verdun is wide to the left. Johnson in motion. McNeil back, gets the ball out of there for Fowler. Fowler's got the first down inside the 15-yard line. Eddie Brown drags him down, and Kelly comes up with a big third and 10 play.
Well, we've seen him do it all evening, and this is a club that's only given up 31% success factor. Kelly just dumping it off. Great job as he's getting pressure there. Fowler almost doesn't get turned around to get the football, but again, that little quick screen, he's trying to make his move upfield, and then finally tackled by Eddie Brown.
Well, a week from Monday, Steve Young in Los Angeles will be in there against Jim Kelly, and we'll have that for you.
Boy, that ought to be an exciting one.
Well, Kelly lost the football and falls on it at the 20-yard line, maybe the 21. A loss of 5 yards, second down, 15. First time there's been a mistake on this exchange there. He just never had it.
Well, he's looking upfield. You can see his head as he's looking out to the right side. He pulls away, just gets his hands out of there a little bit quick, but he does the right thing by going for the football. At first he looked for it, and then he said, I'm just going to cover it. I'm not going to take any chances. We're in close. I'll take the 5 or 6 yard loss, get another turn. And really, yardage to this club doesn't make a whole lot of difference, Jim.
Second down and 15 from the 21. McNeil wide left. McGee comes out wide right. Sanders goes in motion. It's the run and shoot offense. Here's Kelly. Knocked down by number 56, Ed Smith, and 10 for Fowler coming out of the backfield.
Woo!
And it is third down 10, and another opportunity on this drive for the Wranglers to pick it off.
Oh, had Ed Smith not blocked that ball, excuse me, Jim, for interrupting you. I got a little excited there. Just watch this block of the football as he's paralleling. You see in the background, that's 46, Todd Fowler there, and you see what he's doing at this stage, because had he caught that football, there was nobody over there. It would have been a walk-in touchdown. I get excited at those kind of plays.
Benefield limps off now. Walton comes in. Benefield is not yet. Oh, well, he's limping out here to cover Moser on the left side after that bump he took. And Kelly lost the football again, and it belongs to Arizona. Costly fumble. General John Lee makes another big play. He has already intercepted the ball tonight, and now he recovers a fumble.
Well, he stopped almost a sure 3 points, but possibly 6 points the other way, as you can see there. And you know what's giving the problems? They got an odd man front, and as they get the snap up, Carl Allen, more concerned with handling the man head on him, is really not getting the ball up first, and you got to do that. You can't go anywhere without the Rusty.
If you don't think that Greg Lander and company don't feel that they have been given something on a silver platter, instead of being 10 or 14 behind, they're still only 7 behind, and they got the football back. And here's Landry throwing out to Willis. Willis, as the flag goes down on the backfield, I think they roughed Greg Landry. That's going to be 15 big ones, and forget that pass that Willis caught.
Second time tonight that they've been called for roughing the passer. The crowd doesn't like it. They didn't think that it was deserved, but obviously they're partial. Penalties, defensive penalties by Houston, as Landry going back to throw. Don't know if it would have got a whole lot. Little shove over there as Hosea Taylor gets a little.
Number 93. That's a first down.
It's a little bit aggressive.
That's the second time that Taylor tonight has been called for roughing the passer.
Yes, it is. In these local, right out of the University of Houston here. But, you know, one series of penalties helped this Arizona club to one touchdown drive.
First down from a 37. Romaine Johnson out of the backfield. Landry looking and going deep for Willis. First down inside the 35-yard line. Eason holding on. And Landry given a life with a fumble. Then a roughing the passer hits Willis inside the 35.
Well, Landry getting good protection as he drops back. Lenny Willis running a post pattern in the crack. It's a zone back there. He knows he's going to get hit as he does. And wow, he takes a double shot from both sides with Calvin Eason and JoJo Heath giving him a lick.
2:53 to go, third quarter. Arizona down by 7, moving for the tying score, they hope. First down, Landry. Landry across the middle all by himself. There's Spencer. Spencer's inside the 15, first down. This drive began back on the 22-yard line where there was a fumble recovery. Birmingham, for the first time tonight, leads as the tight end Mason has caught another touchdown pass from Stout. 21-17 at one time. Birmingham, winner of 7 in a row, was down 10-0. Now third quarter, they've come back, lead by 4.
And right now, Arizona in this football game driving as they're trailing 24-17.
First down just inside the 15. Landry, Spencer's by himself on the far side. Now he sees him. Spencer back down at about the 5. Spencer was there for moments, and Landry never saw him. And then when he started to come back to the ball, Greg saw him and got it to him. Pickup of about 9.
Well, if he'd have had the opportunity or had looked in that direction early, you see him looking out to the right side, but he's really looking more down the middle. He finally spots Spencer. Had he hit him earlier, he'd had an opportunity to get more running room. A good move that he puts on number 25 right there. Puts the Duke on Hollis Hall before he turns it up inside. They're knocking at the door.
Second down, a yard to go. Impressive drive again by the Wranglers. Here comes Kevin Long. Long's got the first down. Inside the 5. Taylor made the stop. But Kevin Long, I do believe, has got the first down, which will be first and goal to go. Well, they're not going to agree with me. They're going to call for the sticks. And they'll come in from the other side. And Landry will go and look. But Don will all remember the Gamblers were going when Kelly fumbled a snap. General John Lee got it at the 21.5-yard line, and they moved all the way down to here, where it is the first down and goal to go.
And you call that as a first down? And how often have you seen mistakes hurt a ball club? There they come to that left side. Spencer out in front, getting the initial block. Turning it up inside is Long. Coming across, Andy Hawkins, outstanding linebacker, along with Hosea Taylor. But the first down is there. The turnover of Kelly on the fumbled exchange has put them in real trouble at the moment.
4 downs to make 6 points. Spencer, the man in motion. Landry's going to be sacked. What a play by Fitzgerald. And I think he's got something to say, and a flag is down. Landry went down, but so did a flag.
Well, out on the right side, I believe we're going to get defensive pass interference as Tremaine Johnson got cut down on the far sideline. They went into a triple set look when they brought Spencer across there. That put Paul Ricker and Tremaine Spencer.
Well, 2 up. They'll take the bigger one, so forget the sack. George Allen feels better. Jack Pardee doesn't, because Landry was sacked for about a 12-yard loss, and instead they'll move the ball farther inside the 5-yard line to about the 2.5.
Well, I didn't expect that sack, other than hurting Landry's feelings a little bit, to go down, was going to stand up because it was so flagrant.
And the defense is declined. Holding number 32 on the defense is accepted. First down.
JoJo Heath, defensive cornerback. Oh, Greg Landry at the tail end of this, just getting ready to throw, tries to spin out. As he goes to the ground, he takes a little kick right there from Tony Fitzpatrick. Take that, take that.
First and goal to go. Spencer into the end zone, touchdown. The Wranglers at one time down 24-3 are now within a point of a tie ball game with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Just a power play. Kevin Long, 33. They go off the right side. You see the right guard, Dave Huffman, number 68. Jerry Sullivan, the center. There's 33 Long leading it in there. Then Spencer breaking in behind the block of number 61, Tom Thayer. You'll see him as he comes right and then veers back left where he gets the crack. Rob Taylor, 75, the tackle. Good offensive movement by the offensive line of the Arizona Wranglers.
About a half a minute to go in the third quarter, and apparently we're going to start the fourth quarter either tied or just a point difference, depending on this kick. Corral puts it up, and with 30 seconds to go, it is a tie game at 24-all, as the Wranglers have answered with 21 consecutive points, 14 of those in this third quarter to tie the game. We are in the Astrodome this Saturday night. I'm Jim Simpson with Don Heinrich. 15 minutes to play. It is 24-all. Greg Landry is 15 of 23 for 167 yards. He's past that 20,000-yard mark. Jim Kelly, 312 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 intercepted. But when you come down to what really counts, the scoreboard says it is 24 apiece. The veteran of 17 years, the rookie, in his 9th game as a pro. Moser to the right, and McNeil comes left. First down, 39-yard line for Jim Kelly and the Gamblers. Johnson in motion. And Fowler gets to about the 41-yard line, and that is all. Andy Millentree hanging on to him. Birmingham has scored again in their game with Oklahoma after being down 10-0, and the Stallions are now moving well out in front of Oklahoma in their quest of winning their 8th in a row.
Well, that third quarter was dominated, Jim, both offensively and defensively by Arizona. There's that score, 28-17, Jones' 15-yard run. But you got to wonder, it's a short work week as far as Houston's concerned. This fourth quarter is going to be a tough one for them as they played Monday night out in Oakland. Not many days to work or rest.
Second down and 8. Kelly to Johnson.
Great throw by Kelly. Once again, the semi-roll to that his right, your left as you look at it. Plenty of time to look it over. Throws it up over the top to Johnson running a post coming across. An excellent throw. Great concentration by Johnson. As he's coming downfield, they got that man for man again. Puts a little outside move. You can see that he turns Luther Bradley, 27, all the way around. Luther going into reach, but just out of reach into the hands of Johnson. Big play. They needed it.
Burdan comes to the left. Moser to the right. Sanders in motion. Ball at the 33-yard line. Here's Kelly again. Kelly in trouble. Gets out of it. Across the 30, Kelly, first down. Flag down out of bounds.
What a magnificent job by Kelly to avoid that rush. Heavy, heavy siege as he drops back. You can see the big splits in there. That makes it tough. First guy through, 74, Joe Ehrman, right through the gap. Here comes Lathrop, then the left side. Carl Lort, but Kelly manages to get away. Chasing him is Fonhorst, 55, 56 coming across his head, Smith. As Kelly goes out of Brown, Smith gives him a little extra touch, and a flag goes down to tack some more yards on top.
55 on the defense. First down.
That Smith gave him a little touch, and they gave him 15 yards for that touch. Takes the ball down to the 11. 55 Fonhorst instead of 56. Looked like Smith, though, as Ishon brought it down, but there's the man who did it. Fonhorst, 55.
Very aggressive player. That's his style of play, but a little too aggressive in that instance. Cost his ball club.
McGee goes wide to the right. Burdan is to the left. Johnson in motion. Ball on the 11-yard line. Kelly! Boom! Lost the football! And the Gamblers get it back. Fowler jumped on it. And now there's a fight. And did they throw out a flag or not?
Yes, they are throwing one.
And this could be against the Gamblers.
Stan White was the weak side linebacker coming from the blind side or the back side of Kelly.
Play is over. After the play is over, personal foul, number 60 on the defense. Personal foul, number 70 on the offense. Second down.
Well, there was a time. Well, we'll watch Kelly again.
Well, all you got to do is watch the right side of your screen. You'll see 52 Stan White coming, and I'll tell you, that smarts a little bit as he puts him to the ground. But fortunately, they recovered the football, so that's the big thing at this point because 24 all the score.
I saw a fellow by the name of Jones, a fellow named Qualls do the same thing, offsetting penalties in Denver, and they threw them both out of the game in the first quarter instead of saying no harm, no foul. Here's Kelly again. Kelly, oh my, tough shot for touchdown. Nobody had him in the coverage. Nobody. Second touchdown, catch of the night for Johnson.
I tell you, they got that defensive club talking to themselves. Fonhorst, 55, will be coming out. Kelly rolling to his left. He spots Johnson going down the side. You'll see 55 come in the picture, and you'll see 25 just barely on the right side, 25 being Eddie Brown. But a total confusion of the defensive coverage. An easy touchdown, a nice choice by Kelly to spot him right there. Good protection by rolling away from it. You think that isn't easy, folks? I'll tell you what, they love it.
Tony Pritchard to add the extra point, he does, and just like that, with just about 2 minutes off the clock since Arizona last scored, Houston comes back and takes the 7-point lead again. And Kelly's got 356 yards passing against what we keep saying the number one pass defense, but we expected Kelly to have trouble tonight.
Really?
The Arizona defense is having all the trouble.
We thought they'd have more pressure on him, but he's done a good job of avoiding them.
Burdan is the man is deep. Nope, that's Tobert back there now. Tobert's got the ball. And Tobert across the 25-yard line and out across the 30-yard line. So he's first and 10 from there. Tripped up as he went by Luther, beg your pardon, by Donnie Williams, a running back. There's a scoring drive, 80 yards. The last 17 on the pass to Richard Johnson, who came into the game leading the league in pass catching, and he is not going to relinquish that lead tonight unless somebody has a big day tomorrow or Monday. Here's Landry now. He's got to play catch-up again. Landry gets the ball away to Kevin Long out of the backfield. Long's going to pick up the first down across the 50 and goes out of bounds in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Kevin Long. And here comes Arizona back.
It's showing good speed, Kevin Long does, as Landry was getting some pressure back there. Initially, he had good time, good coverage in the secondaries, looking out to the left, sees nothing, looks back to the right, finally spots Long. Long had hooked up, 59 coming to the pitcher. Andy Hawkins, a little far off. Long with the better speed is outrunning him as 32 comes across to make the play for him. That's JoJo Heath.
Spencer flanked to the right. Tight end Ricker in motion. Landry going out here for Ricker, who's got it at the 41-yard line. It'll be second down and 3 to go from there. Andy Hawkins ran him out of bounds.
And they're putting a
different look there, Don, setting the tight end in motion.
Yes, and they're putting a little pressure on Andy Hawkins. That's 2 in a row that he's had coverage responsibilities and was a couple 2 or 3 steps away and allowed Landry to get the completion. And this important drive, as far as Arizona is concerned, equally as important as the defense of the Houston Gamblers.
Second down, a long 3 from the 41. 12 and a half minutes left. Willis in motion, and Spencer with the football. Spencer got the first down. Look out, Spencer! Inside the 25-yard line, first down there. Tackle made by JoJo Heath.
And had it not been, it was 6 points for Spencer. Great job of running on Spencer's part. They've had that sweep going for him. They just pitch it to that side. You see the offensive lineman pulling in front of him. Ricker gets the key block out there, the tight end, 86. But cutting back, Spencer putting some great moves. The peel back on the left side of your screen really gets him a chance to make that cutback. Had it not been for JoJo, it was 6.
First down from a 23. And there's Spencer down inside the 20 to about the 19, where it'll be second down. And a long 6 to go. Can you remember a more entertaining game than the one we're watching tonight? The run and shoot offense, the veteran Landry trying to come back, and he has come back and is trying to come back yet again. An Arizona team down 24-3 in a must game for them. And here they are at one time tied at 24 all and trying to tie it up again at 31.
Really, very exciting. A lot of fun, a lot of big plays.
And a lot of time left, better than 11 minutes. Second down. Landry has a man out here. Willis can't hold on to the football. Third down. Would not have been a first down, but it would have been third and short instead of third and long.
Well, I think it was a case of Lenny Willis. You'll see him, I think, turn his body, his head. See his head turn. He's getting ready to run, as well as take the hit from Hollis Hall, who formerly, as you mentioned earlier, played for Arizona. Probably got a little extra incentive, but that's one of the guilty things of a receiver.
Well, as we can see Bill Parkinson tell us, despite the drop pass, they're also guilty of holding. So that takes the ball back to the 30-yard line. They'll replay the down, but it's second down and 17.
Well,
Dennison comes in, Boatner comes in, Douglas comes in.
Willis has been the most consistent receiver for him. At that time, he was just a little over-anxious.
Landry underneath has his man, and that is Doug Dennison, but this time Yala puts him down just inside the 25-yard line, and it's going to be third down at about 12.
Well, you know, it's the pupil against the master in this case, the teacher, if you will, as Dennison coming out of the backfield. When I say the pupil and the teacher, that means that Jack Pardee is a defense-oriented coach, and he had Diala locked in on Dennison coming out of there. He knows that third down they like to go to him, played it well.
Third down and 12 to go. Landry, flag goes down, so does Landry. Flag went down first, and Landry back at the 34. If it's holding, of course, they'll take the play.
Now, brings up an interesting situation, Jim. Like you're saying, take the play would make it fourth, and that would in turn make it roughly a 48 49-yard field goal. You can see, oh man, 68 David Huffman gets a hold of Tony Fitzpatrick. Man, he had a real bear hug on him. There's Dennison. He is wide open, and he says, throw me the ball, please. Greg, come on, I got some daylight.
We kid about it, Don. Does George Allen have a gimmick? Most people say he does not, but this would be a 50-yard attempt by Corral. Has never even tried one before this year, but Richter, a quarterback, is holding.
Could happen.
Going to be a 50-yard attempt. It is dropped, and it is picked up by Catan, and there he goes for a score!
That certainly brought this crowd to their feet. Pete Catan, who's been out for 3 weeks with a torn tricep, coming into the left side of your screen right there. The ball's deflected, blocked from the right. Catan getting the good bounce. It's a foot race for him. They're using him as a pass rusher and rush the kick type player for this evening. But right there, he shows excellent speed and appears to have busted this football game open with 10 minutes left.
We believe it was Andy Hawkins who blocked the ball that Catan picks up. We know it is Frisch missing. Tony misses. And for Frisch, that is his first miss of an extra point this year.
Well, Andy Hawkins, their best linebacker, victimized on a couple of receptions, but a big block there and a big run for a touchdown.
Arizona behind. Nuts of the game is behind again with not much time left. Puts the kickoff to Tolbert, who is deep. After Hawkins, as we said, number 59 comes in. He's the man that blocks the ball that allows Catan to pick it up and ramble for the score. 58 yards to put him up 37-24.
And Doak Field, the number 57, your picture's the one that made the mistake that let him get to the inside. There's Catan, who got the good hop as it bounced his way, and it looks like right now the pupil is showing the teacher.
On the far side, taken over there by Tolbert, off the 35-yard line. Checked at the 30-yard line to about the 33. Well, George Allen has never won in the Astrodome. He's down by 13 now with 10 minutes to go. But then again, George Allen has never lost to an expansion team in the NFL or the USFL. But is in danger of that tonight, trying a 50-yard field goal. Nobody was playing defense other than try to get to the ball. All 11 men of the Gamblers were on the line of scrimmage, and it paid off with a block. From the 32, Wranglers now with a big job ahead, well into the fourth quarter. Tremaine Johnson went in motion across the middle. Tremaine Johnson takes a hit by Diala after he dropped the football. Second down and 10.
Tremaine Johnson has been guilty this season of dropping a lot of footballs. A couple of them for potential touchdowns, should have been touchdowns. Other drops as he breaks inside right there, 25 Hollis Hall. But you'll see 31 coming from the right. And Johnson had taken it off, but bang! Right there, Diala says, I'm going to get some of you. Andy Hawkins, 59, getting just a little bit of a touch as he went by. But Diala's the guy that really laid the leather to him.
Second down and 10. Now, this is an Arizona team fresh from holding New Jersey to just 3 points. They've given up 37 to Houston. Out here to Kevin Long, and he's in trouble. And is bumped down by Diala again.
Well, it's good defense out there right now. They're just swarming out there, both on the pass rush, linebackers flying around on the short patterns on the underneath stuff, secondary people coming up to make hits. I'll tell you, that's the kind of football when you're coaching that you really enjoy because you make things happen.
Well, there have been 38 first downs thus far tonight and better than 700 yards gained in this game thus far.
Well, we look for a lot of points. We're getting them.
37-14, 9:15 to go. Third and long for Arizona. Landry needs a lot and is not going to get it. Intended for Spencer. Back there to cover is number 34, Calvin Easton. It's fourth down. They'll have to kick the ball away after just 3 downs. The Wranglers have to give it up.
You'll see coming across. There's the little touch on Spencer by Calvin Easton. And that's an unusual spot for him. He's used to running out of that backfield taking hits, not going downfield, a little bit out of control, getting those defensive backs, strong safeties such as Easton taking shots at him.
Sanders stands back on his 29. Corral gets the punt away. Good punt. Driving Sanders back inside the 25, and he may make a mistake with it. Fumbles it out of bounds, which is good for the Gamblers. Honda scooped it toward the sidelines as he realized what was going to happen. Clock now shows 8:54 to go, and the Wranglers, well, they're down by 13. Time running out, and the Gamblers have the ball. First down. Casey Stengel once said, good pitching beats good hitting and vice versa. So he can transpose that to football and say good defense beats good offense and vice versa. But tonight, the number one offense is beating the number one defense in the league.
It certainly is, and they probably aren't going to go conservative here either.
There's Fowler on the handoff. Fowler replacing Sam Harrell, the leading scorer in the league, who is out with a broken bone in his foot, picks up 6 yards before Farnhurst puts him down. It's second down and 4.
Well, that's just about the only running play that Houston has used tonight. Once again, the sprint draw, as you see Kelly go by, slip the ball to Fowler, who had moved to his left and breaks behind the blocking. 70 out in front of it. Tom Robinson trying to get some help for him. But we talked about, or mentioned a few moments ago, that they aren't going to go conservative because they really don't have the kind of attack to do that. They've got to continue to put it in the air.
In San Antonio, you'll recall, they were beating San Antonio and couldn't run out the clock. They had to keep passing because Kelly falls down and is put down. Kelly fell down and is put down. And now they took the ball away from him. And getting up is Carl Lortz. Kelly fell down with the ball out for grabs, and Lortz, grabbed it.
Well, I was about to say that the one thing Kelly should not do here is make a mistake and turn that football over deep. If they run their plays off and kick it out of bounds or kick it upfield, he drops back, but he reaches out. He'll try and bounce up. He should have just stayed down, but he leaves the ball out there. Nobody had touched him, and as a result, by trying to get a couple of yards back, he cost them. Good pressure coming in. 70 and 74. That's Ehrman and Kit Lathrop as they're getting some pressure, but then coming from the side there to get the fumble recovery gives Arizona a great opportunity.
7:47 to go. Quick score here, and it's a different ball game. Landry gets the ball away. There's Ricker's big tight end, first down, 13-yard line. Ricker makes his first catch of the night. They've thrown to him often, but this is his first catch. Lots of time left now.
And Landry was under pressure. He went with play action, kind of slid to the left with it. But Houston, on the other hand, was gambling that they're going to have to put it in the air. They wanted to get pressure. They had the blitz on. They got man-for-man coverage. They blew the coverage back there. And as a result, a big first down for Arizona.
Jermaine Johnson to the left, Willis to the right. Tight end in motion. Landry puts it up, has his man, that is Willis, is dragged down at the 9-yard line. A pickup of about 4. Well, a mark it at the 8, so 5. Second down and 5.
And one thing that Houston really wants to do here, if in the event there's going to be a score, as you can see Landry getting rid of it in a hurry. 32 closing on Willis is JoJo Heath, but they want to make them earn these yards slow and hard and use up as much of that clock as possible so that when they get the kickoff, assuming that Arizona does get 6 points, that there is going to be that much time left in the ballgame.
At the moment, 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Boltner is in. The block. Landry throws underneath to Spencer, can't get it. Spencer going to the end zone, stops the clock, could not get it. Hollis Hall hanging on. Now remember, excuse me, Don, we'll watch the replay and then I'll put my point.
Well, you see, just coming across there to block his boat there, but a quick release, Spencer coming underneath, the ball about knee-high, but he didn't dip down for the ball. He's got to go down low for that ball since it's knee-high. Hollis Hall, pretty good position, but he would have made the tackle. However, the ball should have been caught. All it did was stop the clock. And now it looks like Landry's taking a timeout.
Third down, Landry coming to the sidelines, 37-24. Not only is there a two-point conversion in the USFL, but Tony Fritz also missed an extra point. If they can score twice, well, that's the question. Can they score at all? At the moment, Houston in control, 37-24. This is what is known in football as a big play. Third down, 5 to go, nose of the ball on the 8-yard line. You know they got to take 2 downs to make a first down or 6 points. The 3 points won't do them any good.
And they have to score relatively quick if they possibly can with the time running out here in the fourth quarter.
6:10 on the clock, third down and 5. Tremaine Johnson trots out to the right. Lenny Willis comes to the left. Landry pumps once, Landry puts it up, and overthrows everybody. Intended for Willis. Back there with him was JoJo Heath. And it's fourth down, and they've got to go here.
And that's one that Greg Landry actually probably shouldn't have thrown. He just put it up and hoped a little bit because JoJo Heath was holding outside position. Calvin Eason, the strong safety, had inside position. They had him doubled. He tried to run a post corner, but Heath was sitting right out in it.
392 total yards gained for Houston in the game, but 107 of those in this half. In other words, 285 in the first half, only 107 in the second half. But it's fourth down. The play of the game for the Wranglers and for the Gamblers. Landry puts it out there, and the ball is caught. Short of the first down, Spencer makes the catch. The ball belongs to the Gamblers.
Great tackle, too, because he almost had that first down. And just a terrific job in the secondary to knock him back and keep him short. Spencer getting up slow.
Lewis and Hall made the stop. Watch him.
I know it. It was a beautiful job of defense over there. As Spencer coming out to the left, you see him right there. Now watch him go underneath his ribs, knock him back. That's Will Lewis, the defensive corner, and then, of course, the help by Hollis Hall. But that was an extremely big play and an excellent play by the defensive people.
Now with 5:48 to go, you begin to think that maybe Arizona after tonight will be 4 games behind Denver in the Pacific Division. That the pupil will beat the teacher. That George Allen will lose his second game in the Astrodome. That he will lose the first game ever to the expansion team. Kelly hands off to Fowler, who gets out near the 10-yard line. Because time is running out on the Wranglers. We're down 37-24. And that defensive play will be remembered for a long time by those two backs.
Well, the thing that he did was Spencer, with forward lean, would have had enough to get the first down, but it was such an effective tackle. Coming up underneath, almost a block tackle, really, but he took, Will Lewis did, all of the momentum away from him and saved that first down.
And remember, week from Monday night, flags go down, and I believe that this time the Gamblers were guilty of going in motion and jumping offside. A week from Monday night, Steve Young in Los Angeles, he had over 400 yards himself yesterday. We'll come in here with the Los Angeles Express, and we will be here to watch the run-and-shoot offense led by Jim Kelly against Steve Young of BYU and now the Express. Second down and 10. Move the ball back to the 9.
What a matchup that should be. Kelly and the young
talk about a good game. We've got one here.
Oh, do we ever?
How about Tampa Bay moving in against Michigan this Monday night? Michigan smarting from 2 straight losses. They are not having good games. Tampa Bay playing its heart out and smothering New Orleans last Monday night.
Could be a good one.
Second down and 10 to go. Sanders. Kelly in the end zone. Throws it underneath to Fowler. Fowler does not have the first down. Across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. Dragged down there. It'll be third down and short. General John Lee made the stop. He's made a couple of big plays tonight, an interception and a fumble recovery. Well, we mentioned their running attack is the kind that you can control and kill the clock, so to speak. Right there, you talk about a gutsy call. That was that little screen-type action to Fowler underneath, and it doesn't take much to pop that ball up in the air that Arizona might get it back, but it got them a little more breathing room. Plus, it'll give them room if they have to kick the ball away, where they can set back a good 15 yards on the punt.
3rd down and 2. Kelly is not going to get it. They'll have to kick the ball away. With 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go, they'll have to kick the ball back to Arizona. All is not yet lost, but I'll tell you one thing. After tonight, I would assume Houston, with better than 400 yards total offense, will remain number 1 on offense. But Arizona, having given up more than 400 yards, I don't know whether or not they're number 1 on defense.
And as you mentioned, they've averaged, Houston has 401 yards a game. On the other hand, Arizona's averaged just giving up 14 points. So here they've given up 37.
Walters to kick from the end zone. Still a chance for the Wranglers. Eddie Brown back at midfield. And not much. That's it. Down he goes. That
Great
was Verdun. And excuse me, that was Verdun who came down to make the hit. And it is first down from the 50-yard line. Verdun, a good pass catcher. The few catches he has made is turned into touchdowns.
He was on a development squad for the first 4 games, and he got an opportunity to play when Gerald McNeil had that thumb operation, and he has proved to be very effective, earned himself an opportunity here.
Less than 3.5 minutes to go. Landry, here's Boatner. Boatner gets out of bounds, and where do they mark it? It'll be almost a first down, or will just be a first down. In any event, he stopped the clock at 3:17, which is of import.
Landry once again going to that screen. They've used it about 5 or 6 times tonight, but that got them in excellent field position at the 40. The thing that's against them at this stage is that clock with 3:17 to go and trailing by 13 points.
Can you imagine Kelly fumbling at the 31-yard line late in the game and the Wranglers coming away with nothing as a result of that? That's what just happened. Here's Landry, first down, throws the ball underneath, and that's Dennison picking up 5 or 6 yards inside a 35-yard line. Time continues to run. We're getting down near 3 minutes. A hurry-up offense for the Wranglers. Second down, about 3. And Boatner lost the football, and Landry falls on it. Back at the 37-yard line. So now it is third down at about 7.
Landry obviously called 2 plays in the huddle. They hit the first one on the completion to Dennison. He had called a draw there to Boatner. Boatner took off a little quick. He didn't set very long on it. He just almost took off immediately at the snap. They went on the quick count, and they missed the exchange. But the most costly thing is it keeps the clock moving.
You know, we keep talking about Jim Kelly, but don't forget Richard Johnson with 2 touchdown catches. Don't forget Sanders. Don't forget Mousy and his Mouseketeers, the offensive coordinator who set all this run and shoot offense up. They've had a great night. Third down and 7. Landry fires, and the ball is knocked away on a fine defensive play by Hollis Hall, who a year ago was playing for the Wranglers.
Boy, Hollis Hall was like he was in the huddle and knew that one was coming because he was in there quickly. Landry taking a blow as he threw that football and a little bit slow getting up.
It's a fourth down situation, 7 to go, fourth and last gasp. Because if they don't make it, the Gamblers will have it, a 13-point lead, and 2 minutes or less to go in the game.
I like that. Mousy and his Mouseketeers.
Douglas is in, wide to the right. Flags are down everywhere. Landry puts the ball out here. The ball is caught by Lenny Willis. That's enough for the first down, but let's see what the flags were.
Landry down again as Tony Fitzpatrick, the defensive tackle, laced him.
Offside, Houston. So Arizona will take the first down with 2:03 to go. They'll move the sticks.
They'll take the gain.
And I don't know if they're going to be able to get a play off before that 2-minute signal happens or not, because once they move those sticks, they'll start it up again.
Henry will have to go on a quick count. That means first down. First thing out of his mouth. Bang, he'll go.
Well, they did not start the clock again. There's Landry into the corner of the end zone, and nobody's going to get it. Tremaine Johnson is the man back there, along with a couple of receivers, or I should say defensive backs, but there's a flag in the backfield, and it could be holding, and I know it is because Landry is furious coming off the field.
Pete Catan felt that he was being held over on that side. I'm not sure if it was Rob Taylor, the offensive tackle, or not, but that hurts Arizona at this stage, as they're definitely running out of time. They are scrambling. Great defensive effort by Houston here so far, despite 24 points against
the offense, number 61, first down.
Tom Thayer was the one that was guilty, the offensive guard.
They should be calling for the 2-minute mark, and they have called. 1:57 actually to go. Houston leading by 13 and holding on. Put the ball at the 34-yard line. First down, 20 to go for Arizona. They're down by 13. Jack Pardee's group leading 37-24. Pardee and George Allen, who has never won in the Astrodome. He has never beaten Pardee in exhibition or regular season play. And he has never lost to an expansion team. But he is down 37-24 at the moment.
And he talked Jack Pardee into coming back to football after Jack got out, went to Texas A&M to coach, then went back and had a long career with the Rams in Washington.
Here's a little swing out here to Dennison. Dennison gets away from one man, but that's all. And they'll keep the clock running, 1:45 to go. We've given you that Allen has never lost an expansion team, which it is likely he's going to do, that he's never beaten Pardee, that he's not going to tonight, and that he's never lost one in the Astrodome. I've got some more for you in a moment. Here's Boatner out of the backfield, and Boatner does not get the first down, and is tackled inbounds at the 23. Did not get out of bounds. 1:20 going. But there's something else. George Allen's team will be 4 games behind Denver, as Birmingham now running away from Oklahoma, winning its 8th in a row. And above all, George Allen's defense has been embarrassed tonight, coming in here number 1 in the USFL. Landry runs out of time. It's 4th down.
And Pete Catan gets him as he came into this game with 7 sacks, now has 8. But there is an example of the aggressiveness of this Houston team and the frustration for Greg Landry getting sacked here in the late stages of this ball game.
Arizona went on to New Jersey and beat New Jersey 20-3. A great victory for the Wranglers, put them right back in it. And now, here they are, down 37-24, and what is worse, they're liable to be 4-5 after this year, and the last time they were 4-5 was in 1966 when Gabriel was quarterback and Pardee was the captain of their defense. He's going to be 4-5 after tonight, and 4 games down to Denver. You're seeing his problem in that division, and Oklahoma's losing, so Houston tonight will be right with Oklahoma at 6-3. Michigan has got to beat Tampa Bay on Monday to remain 7-2 and a game ahead. If they do not beat Tampa Bay, they will be 6-3. It'll be a 3-way tie in the Central Division.
Well, you mentioned that George Allen beating New Jersey last week, they gave up 3 points. He said, to me, that's just like a shutout. Here tonight, he's had 37 points scored against them.
Roman Gabriel's team has not had the offense tonight that Houston's Jim Kelly has been able to muster with those 4 wide receivers. Landry throws for Ricker, incomplete. And that's it. It belongs to Houston. With better than 400 yards, 58 seconds to go. If they know how, all they got to do is put their knee on the ground, or at the worst, hand it to Fowler. And I say that facetiously because this is a ball club that throws on nearly every down.
Really, but you can say it's just about time to wrap it up and go home. Kiki Diala making the initial hit as Mouse Davis happy with the success of the offensive unit, but Diala
who led this Houston club in tackles, putting a heavy lick on Paul Ricker. And I'll tell you, that shows you what kind of an attack this club has had both ways, offense and defense.
37 points they've scored without Sam Harrell, the leading scorer and the second leading rusher in the league, out with a broken bone. Todd Fowler was not a big factor, but a factor. Never fumbled the ball, picked up several first downs, ran very well. Time is called on the field by Arizona with 48 seconds to go, hoping some kind of miracle will happen, and not much will happen because that is their last timeout. Only 48 seconds on the clock and only second down for Houston. There's Harrell on the far side. He's missed this one. He'll be back in maybe a month or a little bit more, but Fowler's picked up nicely.
Yes, he has. He's distinguished himself well, and of course, I often wonder why a club takes a timeout in this situation. I can understand that George Allen, with his intensity as he's moving around on the sidelines there, but it's really academic at this stage. Strange things have happened in football, but with as little time as there is, and as you mentioned, Jim, it's just about all over.
Well, you got to go with the better than 400 yards by Jack Pardee and his group. But then again, when they were within 7, Frank Corral tried his first 50-yard field goal of the year. Nobody was doing anything except playing rush the kicker. And Hawkins blocked it, and Catan picked it up and ran 58 yards for the score. And that really kind of iced the cake. And now they'll let it run down a little bit more. 40 seconds and counting, 30. Well, you can read it off the clock yourself. A big victory for Pardee, who is now 3-0 against Allen, including an exhibition game. Allen is now 0-2 in the Astrodome, and his number one defense has been embarrassed, and the first time ever he's lost an expansion team. But the biggest thing is they're 4 games down to Denver in that Pacific Division. The biggest thing for the Gamblers is they are right in the hunt in their Central Division. This will be the last play of the game.
Well, every turn of that block kick really was the turning point. Richard Johnson had scored just prior to that, but then going for that 50-yarder, as you described, I'll tell you what, that really did put it away.
The Wranglers have pulled the upset, 37-24. Jim Kelly and company better than 400 yards against the number one defense. Jim Simpson, Don Heinrich, good night from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas.